afternoon. So, we got 2 hours in here, guys. So, I was trying to think. Oh, there's still people in. All right, so get ready to lock the doors. So we got 2 hours in here. So I was thinking we could do, your average Q&A, and I will answer some questions. But then towards the end, I was thinking, what if we shoot a mini movie starring you guys? Now, it won't be all of you because we'll never get through the whole movie. But I'll pick a handful of you out to be stars of this mini movie that's going to be really terrible. I'm going to tell you that right now. And the rest of you will have to provide sound effects and music. Okay? Alright, so we'll do that in a little bit because I still need to think about what exactly we're shooting. But we'll start with some Q&A after I tell you who I am, because maybe you don't know who I am. I'm Johnny Young Bosch. It says here's Johnny Young Bosch, but my middle name's misspelled on there. So it's actually just Y-O-N-G, but it sounds like Young as that's spelled. But yeah, I didn't do that. But and so I got my start as Adam, the Black Ranger in Power Rangers. Eventually Green Zeo, and then Green Turbo, and then I came back as a Black Ranger again. And then I got into voiceover. What? Did somebody say something? Space? Oh, space, yes. I thought somebody said spice! What's that mean? Must be an Ohio thing. When something's really exciting. Spice! I like it. Maybe we'll use that in the movie. Remember that. All right. And so then I got into voiceover. I was Bash and Trigun. Canada and Kira, Keevan Wolfsrain, Lelouch and Code Geass, Izaya and Sasori and Naruto. Let's see, Nate Yokai Watch, it's a kid's show. You probably didn't watch. You watch it? Alright, nice. That show is actually kind of funny. If you like ghosts that make you fart, things like that. Yes, you have your hand up back there. No, actually, I just had a grilled cheese sandwich. So that'd be too much cheese. But thank you. Say that'd be catering for the movie. Wouldn't that be funny? Just randomly, some guy in the movie's like, "You want a quesadilla?" And then whoever's in it says no. All right. So anyways, I've done voiceover. I have a band called I Shine, which is playing at Colossalcon East, not this one, sorry. But then they do have on the schedule tomorrow that I'm supposed to do a musical Q&A, which is usually with my band, and they're not here. So at the musical Q&A, what happens is you guys are sitting in chairs just like this. You ask questions, and I improv the song and answer, or the answer in the song back to you. But I didn't bring my band or my guitar, so if somebody has a guitar and brings one tomorrow, I could still do something like that. Otherwise, I'll just make some beats on my iPad and try to attempt to do something like that, but it will fail, and you can all laugh at me then. So let's do some Q&A to get us started. So thank you. Oh, I didn't forget. No, do I have to list off all of them? There's an awful lot. Okay, fine. Haruhi, I was in that as well. I was Ichigo. I was Itsuki. Hang on, let me go to IMDb. Toradora, yes, I was Kitamura. Oh, and I forgot Blue Exorcist.
God eater.
I was Yukio in that. It was Rossio, yes.
Makoto!
Good. Love Hotel, what?
Makoto!
What are you talking about?
And Artemis.
Artemis!
Yes, I was Makoto in Free.
Woo! Backstroke for days!
Yes, I am Jonathan Joestar, and I shouted Dio a lot. Torian Kadera in Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the Eternal Throne. TK in Digimon Adventure Tribe. Oh, they even have Ling Ling, which nobody here has seen. Rainbow Ruby.
Artemis!
Ling Ling, what is Ling Ling?
Oh dear. Oh, my name is Ling Ling.
That's
Artemis!
Artemis, yes!
Woo!
In Sailor Moon. Daryl in Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt. Oh, Kay, the guy in Aji. Orga in Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. I am reading this. Oh, there's actually a lot. There's like 217 of these, okay? So you guys look it up. All right, so let's get on to some questions. And oh, we're already 7 minutes in. Oh my goodness. All right. Questions? Any questions? No questions. Yes.
Hi. First off, I just want to say thank you for all your awesome work coming from an actor myself. It's freaking awesome.
Thanks.
Also, I'm an aspiring voice actor myself. And how would you, where would you go to get your start in voice acting?
Well, can't do it the way that I did it.
We wish.
I'll explain why though.
We wish we
So
could.
after Power Rangers, the Japanese stunt team was trying to do an action film, and they hired me to be the star because I could do my own stunts. And their camera was Japanese, but the sound equipment wasn't. And so at the end, when they edited everything together, it was static. So I had to go in and dub myself for the whole movie. And as I was dubbing myself, the producer walked in and heard my voice and said, "Hey, you got a good hero voice. Will you come audition for this animation?" I was like, "Sure." I went over and auditioned for this animation called Trigun, and I booked that role. So you can't do it that way. Unless you know some Japanese guys shoot a movie, and those sound guys screw it up. Oh, and the producer happens to do animation. So I think if you want to get into voiceover, voice acting, you have to be an actor. So that's a good start. Okay. You have to have a decent, clear voice. You know, can't really have any kind of lisp or anything like that. If you do, you got to work that out. And then you need to get an agent. Put together a demo of your acting with your voice. You know, and then it's like 45 seconds worth of your acting. No, not like characters that have already been done. Like they don't want to hear your version of Yoda. It's all original, you know, mostly your natural range, you know, but then other things, whatever you want to do, throw it on there, about 45 seconds long. Submit that to agent, call you in and meet with you, and then be super nice to them, and then they'll get you auditions, because that's where you start booking roles. And once you get in and you start doing a few things, then they say, you know, that director that worked with you in this thing is going to say, "Oh, I know a guy could do the voice for this character." And so they'll just start bringing you in, or they'll contact your agent for an audition. It just goes like that. Basically, every single day, I even got a few today, but you get auditions every single day. So the way it works as an actor, it's like, you know, some of you guys have jobs doing whatever. Like, name a job that one of you guys has.
UPS store?
UPS store? Okay, so the UPS store. Is that what you said? So anyway, so you had to go in and interview for that job, right? So you go in, interview for that job, and then you have that job for however many years, you know, until you decide to move on or whatever. So as an actor, you're every single day interviewing for a job. So I got a few auditions. So that's my interview. I send that in, and then hopefully I book that job, but that job's only gonna last me like maybe a week if I'm lucky, you know, or if it's a long series, it might last me a couple months. And so you do that every single day. So it's a complicated thing, and you have to get over the rejection. That's the thing that you do have to get over. Because you'll audition for hundreds of things throughout a month, and you won't get them. You might get one, maybe, you know? So Just gotta hope it's a good thing. Anyways, that's my advice. And good luck to you, because it's tough. Yes. Your name's Zero? Oh, Sierra. Easy line? It's kind of nice. She's Roger. Just walked in the door. Let's see. Humans are so interesting. All right, there's a little. It's weird having me do it just like this, though, and not being the face of Isaiah. Just the voice. Yes.
So I've actually bought a lot of games just because you were a voice actor in it. Are there any actors or voice actors like that for you, where you'll just say, "You're in it, I'll check it out"?
Well, I'm terrible at games.
It can be anything, movie, anime, anything.
Like if there's, and I don't have a whole lot of time to watch a lot of things. I usually try to catch some of the stuff that I'm in. Or if there's something on Netflix that I know, like let's say, like Bryce is in it, then I'm like, oh, I'll check it out, or Steve Bloom is in it, I'll go, oh, I'll check it out. Todd Habercorn, let me see. So, that goes like if I'm working or and I book a job, right? And I go and I see the cast list and I see that on the list there's like people like that, that are on it. Then I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a pretty cool show. It's probably gonna be pretty decent. But if I go in and I don't recognize any of the names, then I'm like, uh-oh. What is this? So I guess that in a way. Yes. A little, it was hard for me not to because everyone told me about it everywhere I went. And in the beginning, I was like, whoa, I want to read the manga. And then someone would be like, they'll bring it up, hey, will you sign this page where now you have 2 swords? I'm like, wait, what? So it was kind of spoiled for me earlier on. So basically, I got, from the fans, the gist of the story, and as people would send me, the manga or whatever online, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll see what happened in the very end, even though I haven't seen the rest of it. I'm like, oh, he's got a kid now. All right, that's great, and a haircut. So kind of. The ending? That was it. I was like, oh, so he's got a kid now and a haircut. And I was like, wait, is that it? That's it though? Okay. But I felt like Naruto did that too though, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Did Naruto do it first?
Yes.
See, then I think that they were like, hey, you have to end Bleach. And they're like, okay, that's what they did? Yeah. It's unfortunate when stuff like that happens. Yes?
I don't know if you know this, but this year, next year, and 2019, they're coming out with Eureka 7 movies that cover the events of the original series. If those get dubbed over here, what are the chances of you voicing Renton again?
Well, if it comes over here, then there's a good chance Funimation will be doing it, because I think they picked up the later stuff. Yeah, well, they did, because I came back as Renton older. Yeah, I'm sure they would give me a call. I would hope, and then. But absolutely, yeah. Yes, way back there. Wait, what? Okay. Let me think. Don't interrupt me, Alexis. I think I would be an orange tree. Cool? Okay. Because I think, well, I was about to explain that, Alexis. Because I would provide something more than shade. I would provide food. See? Yeah, right? You know? And I don't know if they're that strong though, but and they're orange. The oranges. Like Ichigo's hair.
Hey.
All right. I'm gonna make a shirt that's just an orange tree. And that's it. And I'll have carved in the tree, Alexis. Yes.
Lauren Rose, I have a question. I know you've done both voice acting or voiceovers for both animation and video games. Is there one that you like better than the other, or what is it like? Does one just come across as a little more awkward, or like what do you think about voice in video games versus voice in animation?
Great question. It really depends on the show or the game and the story, you know, because you can, I mean, on both sides, you know, you can work on an anime that has a great story, you know, or in a video game it can be a great story, but then it could also be terrible, you know, on both sides. So it really depends on the story and the character that you're playing. But I can say, like, video games do pay better, but they do also, in most cases, wear you out more because you got to do all the fight noises, you know, screaming all your deaths, you know, however many ways you die. Like when I did Kung Jin in Mortal Kombat X, it was like, now your spine is being ripped out. Okay? You know, so I had to make up a sound that would make that sound right. So yeah, so it just depends. So in that situation, there are cases in a video game where it's like that, and I'm like, wait, what? So that's kind of weird and awkward. Like, okay, now I got to think of some way to do that. And also in video games, you get random, like you do most cases multiple characters. You know, like it's a while ago, Wild Arms 4, some game I was in, and I played various different characters, and one of them was a giant chicken head. You know, I was like, and
I'll talk like this. I didn't know giant chicken.
because I didn't know what to do. I was like, you know, they're like, so now you're a chicken head, this is what it looks like, and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, hello, you know, and they're like, yeah, all right, that works. I'll tell you another quick story. So there's a video game I got hired on to do, and it was around, I think it was around the time that I was working on Eureka 7. So I was doing young kid voice or whatever, and then I got called, and I think I might have been finished actually. And they called me in and they said, hey, so we got this video game, just want to see if you're available tomorrow last minute, whatever. I was like, sure, whatever. So I go in not knowing what it is, you know, and he's like, all right, so you're going to be Goblin number 13. And he's just like, the script sides are over there if you want to take a look. And I go look over, I'm like starting to look through it, and I see like the sides or whatever. It's all just like vowels. No words, just vowels. I'm like, there's just vowels. It's just like O, A, yeah, what is that? And then they're like, oh, just goblin noises. Goblin noises? Yeah, you know, just you know, goblin noises. Oh, it's a goblin noise? No, you know, just goblin noises. I was like, I don't know any goblins. What does goblin sound like? I was like, hey, goblin. And I had this guinea pig when I was little, and I used to talk to it a lot. So then I was like, and they're like, yeah, okay. And I'm in the booth for like 4 hours, dying as Goblin number 13. You're being stabbed. Right? Falling off a cliff. Falling off a cliff onto a spike. You know? You're on fire. Being electrocuted. So I'm doing that for 4 hours at the end of the day, and now like not like this, but like I was screaming. And and at the end of the day, I'm like, thanks for the session, guys. I couldn't talk. I could taste a little bit of like, is that blood?
Oh, God.
And the next day, I'm supposed to work on this new anime series as a
As a young kid voice.
but I couldn't do it I walk in, I'm like, is this gonna work? And they're like, no. And so I got recast. Yeah, and so that stunk. Another thing I could tell you about video games, though, is that was a totally random story, wasn't it? In video games, in most cases, you have multiple producers there. Like in anime, there might be a producer there. Occasionally, there could be more if it's a really big, high-profile show. But in most cases, there might be just one or none at all, and the director's just in charge. But in video games, you'll get multiple producers, and they all think they can direct. Perfect example, again, actually the Goblin thing, just to go backtrack a little bit, I don't know the name of that game. Most times they don't tell you the name of the game, it's like a secret, and they want to keep it a secret, and so I end up forgetting about it and not knowing, and not even trying to look it up. And anyways, I was Goblin number 13, so who cares, right? But if you're playing a game and you hear, you can go, Johnny. But anyway, so I was working on this other game that I don't know the name of because it was a top secret game. And I had these two producers, and I had a director who I worked with plenty of times, and I had a good relationship with him. And at some point, after a few hours, he gave up. You know, he was like trying to direct me, but then they were always giving him advice to direct me, you know, and then finally he just said, why don't you guys just tell him what you want? And so basically every single line I would deliver my line the way I felt was right for the character, and then they would chime in and say, can you do it this way, can you do it that way, or read it like this. Most times it was just like they would just feed me the line, they would act it out, and it was terrible, but you know, I was like, okay, that's what you want me to do, I'll do a version of that, but act it. Better. And so anyways, I was kind of giving up, I was feeling defeated, I was feeling like the worst actor in the world because every single line they were like giving me a line read and telling me how to do it, and I was like, why am I even here? I'm a puppet now. And so this one line comes up, and again, I'm feeling like I'm the worst actor in the world, why am I here? And I don't remember what the line is, it was just 5 words, it was very short. And I delivered it the way I thought it should be done, you know, on my first take, and then I look over, and my director is like, and then they're talking, the producers, and one goes in, he's like, can you make that line sound happy? I was like, sure, want to make this line sound happy? Sure. And so whatever it was, I said it with a smile, you know? And then I look over, and I see them talking again. And then the other producer is like, you know, actually, can you make that line sound sad? I was like, the opposite of what okay, sure, I'll do that. And so I'm getting ready to make it sound sad, right? Like, you know? And then I see them talking again. I was like, what's going on? And then the other one chimes back in. He's like, you know what? You know, can you make that line sound happy, sad? And then I stopped, and I was like, in my mind, I didn't say this out loud. I was like, okay, I thought I was terrible, but it's you. It's you. And then out loud, I said, so you want me to take these 5 words and make it sound happy, sir? 2 completely opposite emotions. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And in my head, I said, well, I said okay to them, but in my head I said, nope, that's dumb. I'm gonna go back to my first read. And so I went back to my very first read, and they said, perfect.
What?
So anyways, that's what happens sometimes when you work on video games and you often get multiple producers in there. Yes?
Okay, this is sort of a comment, but so right now in Dragon Ball Super, there is a character that I think you would be perfect for playing, and basically there's currently in one of the universes there's these characters that are called Pride Troopers, and like they're one of the guys in charge is they're basically a parody of the Super Sentais, which, as you know, is the Power Rangers. So honestly, you should try to audition as Popo, and it's
One person agrees with you. Yeah, it's Funimation, so unless they reach out to me, it's probably not going to happen. Yeah, and a lot of times, I don't know if that show is the same, that they do this simulcast thing, so they got to bump them out really fast. So that I think they're not. Oh, okay, well, you could suggest it to them, but you have to get all your friends together to do the same. Yes.
Me? Have you ever seen free 50% off abridged? Oh my God! And if so, can you please say, Ray, just take your sass and put it in your pocket?
Ray, just take your sass and put it in your pocket.
Have you?
I've not seen it, but I guess I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Infamous Isaiah cell phone smashing laugh. Let's see. I'm bored.
If you were able, out of all of the people that have done, if they were to come out with another stuff of it, would you still voice actor?
Out of all the characters that I've done, if they came out with
Mine
a...
is probably Matt and Andy. But if any of those two, would you still do it?
Of which characters?
Itchy and Crash?
Oh,
What did he ask? Anybody?
I'm trying to figure it out. But I think you asked me if Itsuki Koizumi or Vash from Trigun had like a new series,
Or anything?
would I come back?
Would you still want to go back?
Yes. It's an easy answer. Yes, Vash most definitely. And Haruhi, sure. Why not? It's fun.
Wait, you said you wanted to do Ari?
What?
Ari.
Well, that's the show. Wait, which show are you talking about? Itsuki Koizumi, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. I mean, I would want to come back as Haruhi. All right, let me go off on a tangent here. So you guys know Haruhi Suzumiya, the melancholy of whatever. All right, of course you do. Of course you do. All right. So, anyways, you guys know the Endless Eight, right? You hate the Endless Eight, right? Well, so did we. And I'm not afraid to say it. Fire me! Oh, we're done? Okay. So anyways, the Endless Eight was just redundant. If you don't know, it was like, they got like stuck in a time loop or whatever, right? And so they relived the same, basically, was it a day? How long was it?
It was summer
2 weeks, the same summer? Was that what that's okay, so it's like the same couple of weeks or whatever was like played out. And so this one episode. And then the second episode was the same. Very minor changes in the way it looked. And then it just continued for 8 episodes. And then which they did in the manga, right? Was it 8 episodes? Or was it 3 episodes? It was a volume, I can't remember. It was the Endless 8. It was endless. We were saying the same thing with slightly minor changes. But I had suggested, hey, can we have accents on this one? I also suggested, hey, can I be Haruhi on this one? To which they said, actually, that is a great idea. So they sent it to Japan. Hey, can we? No. So you got to watch those 8 episodes basically over and over again, and there was not much change, and it was not cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I understand why they did it, but they could have been smarter about it. Yes.
What was your reaction to the end of Code Geass?
The end of Code Geass, I really liked it. I was satisfied. I was satisfied with the outcome. It made sense to me. You know, it did. It made sense to me. It was sad. I might have cried a little. A small little tear. But I loved it. I really did. I enjoyed it. I felt like at that moment it made sense. Like all the things that he did, it made sense to that point, Which is the only reason why I'm a little hesitant about this potential third season, you know? But that's the only reason why. Yes, right here.
Could you, as Roxy and I, take a drill break?
Can I what now? Take a drill break?
Take a drill break from Gurren Lagann as Roxy.
Oh wait, somebody else is asking a question as well. Sorry.
Never mind.
Okay. All right, you know what? I think it's time to make a movie with you guys. All right, so I'm gonna need some ideas. It's gonna be very short. I don't want it to be too long, okay?